Hey guys, here in a nutshell with me, Ina. Kung kayo ay katulad ko na laging nag-aabang, nag-observe ng mga changes sa immigration ng Canada, for sure, inaabangan nyo rin yung mangyayaring announcement next week. 1 week to go, meron pong dalawang malaking, kumbaga, ipepresenta sa taong bayan ang gobyerno. Okay. Una po, ang budget. Okay, kumbaga parang national budget. Bakit yan mahalagang ipresenta at kumbaga i-analyze? Because that reflects the priorities of the current government. Hindi lang sa immigration. Priorities nito sa health, sa mga trabahong gusto niyang makita, investment, sa trade, etc. Okay. Pangalawa, kasabay ng announcement na yan, i-release din po ang bagong immigration levels plan. Okay, every year naglalabas din po talaga ng immigration levels plan kung saan nagle-layout sila ng 3-year parang targets. Yan, okay. So ang ilalabas next week, November 4 daw ang sabi ito mangyayari ay yung mga targets, numbers, quotas na gusto nilang i-meet patungkol sa mga tatanggaping bagong permanent residents as well as new temporary residents, aka yung mga students and temporary foreign workers. Kung ilan po ang gusto nilang tanggapin sa 2026, 2027, and 2028. I'm sure mas marami po sa inyo ang mas interesado doon sa immigration levels plan. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. Pero this early, sasabihin ko sa inyo, syempre, nobody knows yet. Okay, what I will be talking about later on is, kumbaga, summary of the different forecasts, expectations, na sinasabi po ng iba't ibang mga immigration professionals sa mga news reports. I will give you, kumbaga, a summary of what these people are expecting. Okay, but for now, pag-usapan muna natin briefly yung budget. Nagkaroon po ng isang press conference si Mark Carney, si Prime Minister Mark Carney tungkol dyan. Ito po ang kanyang sinabi. This is from CP24.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has pledged to make generational investments in a campaign-style speech ahead of next month's fall budget. The Prime Minister addressing a group of students at the University of Ottawa last night, but his promise of bold action came with a warning, telling Canadians that transforming the economy will take some sacrifices.
Even with such efficiencies and with better management, we will have to do less of some of the things that we want to do so we can do more of what we must do.
Carney's goal for Canada is to double non-U.S. exports over the next decade. He says that will generate $300 billion in trade. Last night's address did not include any major new commitments, but it did shed some light on key themes guiding the government's economic plan, including diversifying trading partners and plans for immigration. Prime Minister.
Okay. Sige, doon muna tayo. So may sinasabi siyang generational investments that will be reflected in the budget. Today, meron pong nilabas na press release ang Canada.ca, posted on Canada.ca. Let me share that with you. This gives us more information on what we can expect when it comes to the budget. Baka ito na po yung tinutukoy niyang generational investment. Release lang po to, news release, October 27, 2025. Sabi, the budget will invest in Canadian workers. Anong specific types of investments? Anong pakinabang na mga workers? Meron po ditong binigay na parang tatlo na specific. Una, meron daw budget that will train the newest generation of Canadian builders. Okay, so the budget will expand the Union Training and Innovation Program. Yan daw po ay isang union-based apprenticeship training sa mga Red Seal trades. Okay, this will help ensure that there are Canadian workers to build major infrastructure and millions more homes across the country. So alam nyo na, yung mga asahan natin, talagang mukhang magkakaroon ng boom sa construction kung ito lang budget ang ating pagbabatayan. Okay. Pangalawa, Nako, ito good news sa mga kababayan nating PSWs. To recognize the vital role of personal support workers, the budget will introduce a temporary 5-year PSW tax credit. Wow, okay. So eligible workers, sabi po dito, will be able to claim a refundable tax credit equal to 5% of their eligible earnings, providing support of up to $1,100 per year. Okay, pangatlo, ito interesting too. Sabi, to protect workers' rights, promote labor mobility, and strengthen competition, the upcoming budget will amend Canada's labor code to restrict the use of non-compete agreements in employment contracts for federally regulated businesses. Okay, again, for federally regulated businesses, ipagbabawal na daw yung non-compete clause sa mga kontrata. Ibig sabihin niya, kunyari, ikaw ay nagtrabaho sa kumpanyang A. Company A. Ang nakasulat po sa kontrata minsan ay, sa posisyon, ito ang iyong trabaho. Kung ikaw ay umalis sa kumpanyang ito, bawal ka magtrabaho sa kakumpetensya naming kumpanya for a certain period of time. Sabihin mo lang for 3 years, bawal ka maging empleyado, lalo na in that specific role, that same role, sa aming direct competitor. Ganyan yan. Ang logic daw po kasi niyan is to avoid you sharing company secrets, yung mga ganyan, ano. So, ipagbabawal na raw po yun. Sabi dito, this will empower workers to move more freely to a higher paying career or start their own business. Okay. Naisip ko tuloy yun, no? Kala ko tungkol sa mga, closed work permits ka ako. Pero wala naman pong mention doon. Sabi ko, baka ipagbawal na rin ng closed work permits, ano? Kasi yan po ang panawagan ng mga advocates for migrant workers, ano? Sabi nila, to help address the problem of abusive employers in the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, hayaan na daw ang mga TFW na naka-open work permit para sakaling sila ay abusuhin, mas madali silang makalipat. Yun. Kumbaga, it will keep employers from abusing them or exploiting them dahil alam nila na pwede silang layasan. But anyway, hindi po yan kasama. Puntahan naman natin, ito na, yung Immigration Levels Plan. Actually, medyo napag-usapan na namin din ni Attorney Jake Aguilar in an episode about 2 weeks ago na siguro, no? Yung palagay niya, magiging plano for the next 3 years. Kasi po, a couple of weeks ago, may mga lumabas ng mga reports saying na magtataas daw ulit ng immigration levels. So, I did that episode to address those articles. At yun, medyo sang-ayon naman ako dun sa sinasabi ni Attorney Jake, na malabo pong mangyari yun. Na magbubukas muli ang Canada sa mas maraming newcomers. Unfortunately, kahit gustuhin man natin na mas maraming mga kababayan natin ang makinabang, sa economic opportunities na meron dito sa Canada, I don't think that is what we are going to see. Okay. Ano ba muna ang sinabi ni Prime Minister Mark Carney tungkol dyan? Ito po, I've shared this a number of times in my recent episodes.
Yes, so let's take a step back on the immigration system, and I'll give some perspective, if I may, which is if we go back 6-7 years, the number of what are called non-permanent residents, so temporary foreign workers, students, asylum seekers, other people who've come to Canada and haven't yet become citizens. Most people in Canada at one point, either themselves or their parents or grandparents, were immigrants to this country at one time. But these are people who haven't yet become citizens. That used to be about 3% of the population. Just before I became Prime Minister, it had gone up to 7.5% of our population. So a big, big increase. And so that's what this MP, I don't remember who said it, but was referring to. And so our challenge is and this is what we're doing, is to make sure that we rapidly build up our ability for those who are here, who are working, who are building a life, to do that. those who should go back, asylum seekers who are not going to ultimately get asylum, that we return them, track them and return them, that we reduce the flow of new temporary Canadians, temporary residents in Canada, and I just gave you the figures on that, so we can manage down the overall level in a responsible way. And we're doing all of those things in about 2-3 weeks' time. We'll be releasing our immigration plan, our next immigration levels plan, and that will include many of the steps that we'll be taking around these issues.
Okay. I guess it's clear from what he said. What we can expect is a further reduction, lalo na po sa mga tatanggaping newcomers, specifically yung mga tatanggaping mga temporary residents. Okay, there will be a further reduction of, international students and temporary foreign workers. Alam nyo ba na sa pagpaplano po nitong immigration levels plan, nakukonsulta po, or rather nagkonsulta na, yung IRCC sa iba't ibang mga players yan or stakeholders in immigration. Actually, open to the public yung consultation na yan. May link ka lang po na i-click. And then there's like a survey, and then you can give your inputs on what you think should happen or what you think Canada should do with immigration. Anyway, nagtapos na po yung consultation period na yan. At syempre, the government will factor that in sa kanilang levels plan. Ito po ang isang article, posted sa canada.ca a while back, kung kailan nag-announce sila na magkakaroon ng consultation. Ang nakasulat nga dito, archive na ito, will not be updating it, but it can be used for research or reference. Bakit? Kasi nga, sarado na po yung consultation period. Parang intro po ito sa mangyayaring consultation. From this highlighted portion, makikita mo na rin kung saan papunta yung immigration levels plan. Although yes, they will be consulting people, ito po yan This year will be guided by the Government of Canada's commitments to number 1, lower the non-permanent resident population to less than 5% of Canada's population by the end of 2027. Nabanggit po kanina dun sa clip ni Prime Minister Carney na nung siya ay umabot ng mahigit 7% yung non-permanent resident population ng Canada. Yung 7.5% na yan, that equates to about 3 million. So, bumaba na po yan ang bahagya kasi yung latest data po ng IRCC ay nasa 2.2 million ang total number of temporary residents here. Kung ibababa po nila to 5%, okay? Balikan lang natin from the starting point of 3 million. Yung 3 million should go down to about 2 million. Okay. In short, may kailangang mabawas na 1 million. That is at least, at least. Kasi po, nakasulat dito, gusto nila less than 5%. Reminder, everybody, ito pong commitments na ito were made when the immigration levels plan was presented last year. Maaari pa pong dagdagan yung reduction na gusto nilang makita dito. We will find out next week. Okay, kumbaga kung pagbabatayin lang po yung old commitment, ito, kailangan may 1 milyong umalis. Tignan natin kung ngayong 1 milyon pa ay madadagdagan next week. Okay, next commitment na susundin din daw. Stabilize permanent resident admissions at less than 1% of Canada's population annually beyond 2027. So dito, we can surmise na talagang lilimitahin pa rin ang mga ipaprocess po for PR. Pangatlo, ito, establish a 12% target for Francophone immigration outside of Quebec by 2029 to promote the vitality of Francophone communities. So ano ang learning natin dito sa pangatlo? Tuloy ang kanilang pag-prioritize ng mga French speakers. Okay, I know many of you might automatically say, no, hindi ako pwede mag-aral ng French. Ano ba yan? Pilipino ako. Ang hirap. Ang tanda-tanda ko na. Ba't pa ako ngayon pa ako mag-aaral ng bagong lengguwahe? Well, believe it or not, meron tayong mga kababayan po na nag-aaral mag-French just to take advantage of this, effort Okay, na ang programa ng Canada magpo-focus po, magpa-prioritize ng mga French speakers. Okay, well, if you really wanna make it to Canada, marami pong mga immigration professionals ang nagsasabi, okay, basta ma-reach mo yung required level of proficiency sa French, mas malaki ang inyong tsansa. Of course, there is still no guarantee, but it definitely increases your chances of getting drawn. O, ulitin ko lang, ano lang po ito. Ito daw po ang mag-guide doon sa i-announce na immigration levels plan. This could change. They could make it even tougher. Pwede nilang bawasan pa yung gusto nilang tanggapin ng mga bagong tao dito. Okay, that's a reality, and honestly, that is what many immigration professionals are expecting. Okay, na tuloy-tuloy ang paghihigpit na nakikita natin. Okay, marami po rin nag-aabang dito because kapag na-announce na po yan, yung government quotas, for example, for permanent residents na ipaprocess, as well as yung mga bagong temporary residents na tatanggapin nila kung ilan ang mga yan, the different provinces will then adapt their own quotas and make announcements again. Siyempre, kunyari, meron po silang nakitang pagbabawas sa quota, let's say, sa specific stream na ito for PR pathway. Okay? They will adjust accordingly. Diba? Yung mga provinces po. Kayo, ano po ba ang gusto ninyong makita sa paparating na immigration levels plan? I'll share with you this other report. Last na lang to, no? Tignan nyo. From the Globe and Mail. Kung ang tatanungin ay itong columnist na ito, ang gusto daw niyang makita, sabi niya, isang dedicated program for high-skilled workers. Okay? I would support it. Why not? Yeah. Okay. At least klaro din kung ano bang itong high-skilled na gusto nila. Kayo, kung kayo ang tatanungin, what do you guys think should be prioritized when it comes to immigration? I-share ko na lang din po yung ilang mga common, kumbaga, forecasts na nakikita ko usually from the immigration professionals na ini-interview po sa media dito. I think many of them believe na ang tatahaking pong direksyon ngayon ng immigration ay magpo-focus sa high-skilled workers. Quality over quantity. Okay, hindi naman po sa magsasarado na ang immigration ng Canada. It's just that they will definitely be more selective in the types of people that they want to become permanent residents eventually. At magfo-focus pa rin sa pagta-transition ng mga nandito na po sa Canada. Okay, magka-transition from temporary residents to PRs. Okay, nasabi po yan ni Prime Minister Carney dun sa soundbite natin kanina. Habang po yan ay nangyayari, tuloy pa rin yung pagbabawas sa bilang naman ng mga bagong dumarating. Let me know what you guys think, and kayo, ano po ang expectations niyo na sasabihin? I will end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!